Right guys, we're live. You're very welcome to Monday Night's Late Night Agenda. I'm your host Craig. As always, we're here to talk about all things LFC related. You've probably just seen the game between Spurs and Manchester City that finished 1-0 to Man City. That puts Liverpool second in the Premier League on goal distance, but what I want to, on goal difference, But what I want to know tonight, guys, is do you believe Liverpool can go on and win the Premier League? That's the big question that I've been asking a lot of Liverpool fans today on Twitter. And it's a question that I really want to know deep down, hand on heart, can Liverpool do this? Can we go all the way and lift that Premier League title? It's been a while. It's been 28 fucking years, 28 long years since Liverpool have lifted the Premier League crown. Or, well, it wasn't the Premier League crown back then, it was the old First Division, but you guys know what I mean. So that's the question I want to start tonight with, guys. Do you think we can do it? I fucking do. I have no doubt that I believe we can. It's not going to be easy. Manchester City are a formidable club. Yeah, they showed tonight, they won that game at a canter, really, at Spurs. They didn't even really get out of second gear. Spurs, I think, have shown that whilst they're a very good team, they're not quite up at that level yet, not quite up at the championship level. Liverpool hadn't been for a couple of seasons either, but I think we're progressing there now. And my opinion is we are definitely there. Hi Meds and everybody, one mod. Hello, said Dirty Girl. NBC could make more excuses for that miss unless it was missed by Kane. Oh, man, I get you, buddy. Yeah, I'm trying to summarise that miss by Kane in the first half. The one-on-one that he had, and it was just poor. Let's be honest, he hasn't been up to himself this season. Manchester City hadn't even started De Bruyne. They took Aguero off. They didn't really get out of second gear. It looked, if I was a Spurs fan, I'd have been worried at that performance there. The pitch was a fucking shambles. We know that. Look, I have some sympathy for Spurs with regards to what's gone on with their stadium, but from a spectacle, if I was Sky and I was putting that stuff out, look, I know Sky have a tie-in with NFL, so maybe it was a kind of a win-win for them, but that was not a great fucking example of the Premier League there. To put that game out tonight going across the world with the state of that Wembley pitch, it reflected pretty badly. But look, as I said, I want to know, can Liverpool win the Premier League? Do you believe Liverpool can go on and win the Premier League? Because let's face it, guys, we want believers. We want to believe. I'm always telling you guys about putting positive energy out there. Well, I think we should do it. I think we should let it out there into the world. Push the Reds over the line. Keep them going. I've seen Sheridan Shaqiri in an interview today. He said to somebody that he's been getting into the Reds players. He's been trying to instill that belief that Liverpool can really go on and do this year. That they have to feel, they have to believe that they can do it. I've already seen one negative comment there. No, not good enough, says Danny Stevens. Look, mate, if that's your honest, fair opinion, I respect it. I'm not going to belittle you for thinking differently to me. You're a fan. You're entitled to your opinion. It's not going to be an easy task, so I get where you're coming from, Danny, but for me, mate, I think we can. I really think we can do it this year. I'm not saying we're going to. I think we can, though. After Leicester, anybody can win the Premier League, said Liverpool legend. Well, look, I mean, 5,000 to 1. You're spot on with that one. That was a beautiful story, I have to say. Leicester City won the Premier League that year. It was one of the football and Rocky stories. All my love goes to Leicester, said FunGamer16. Absolutely, mate. I completely echo those sentiments. We spoke a lot last night about the situation at Leicester City with Glenn Hoddle, and of course about the Brighton City fan that passed away as well. Or Brighton and Hove Albion, fan that passed away as well. Ben thinks we can win the league this year. Good man, Ben. That's the type of positivity we're looking for. Farrell said, if we stay consistent, we'll win. City will begin to worry about the Champions League because for Pep, it's all about his legacy. I don't think he gives a shit about Manchester, said Farrell. Of course he doesn't give a shit about Manchester. Why the fuck would he give a shit about Manchester? He'd have quite happily taken the Manchester United job at one time as well when he spoke to Sir Alex Ferguson. It's a project. I suppose Pep Guardiola looked at that project at Manchester City and, you know, he liked it. He liked the project. Let's not kid ourselves. If you're a manager looking at that, I mean, it is a fairly exciting project to go into. Almost a blank checkbook. Owners that are looking to build a dynasty, that are looking to create a real force in world football. It's pretty good for Pep. I can understand why he took the job. I swear you always ignore me, says CJW Football, mate. Promise you I don't, and if I have, it's just bad luck. So never take anything personally on here, buddy. I do not have favourites. I literally just go through and read the comments that I can. We're going to push City all the way. It'll be like poker. Who doesn't lose their nerve will win, said Thomas Boland. Ken Zood said, of course we can win the league. That's it, mate. I love that. Go in straight in with it, not fucking about. Damn right we can. You bald idiot. Shut the fuck up. Of course we can win the league. Without Klopp, Liverpool wouldn't even be close, said Gareth Phillips. Mate, look, I'd love to tell you you're wrong, but you're right. Jurgen Klopp has been the fulcrum by which this Liverpool progression has started with. He's amazing. He's everything I want in a manager. We spoke time and time again about him. What you get with Jurgen Klopp is obviously you get that fantastic enthusiasm, you get that footballing ability, but you also got to draw. Let's not be honest about this. He can also attract players that Brendan Rodgers perhaps couldn't attract, other managers couldn't attract. Jurgen Klopp has that mass appeal. He appeals to sponsors. He'd appeal to the owners from so many levels. You're right. Without Jurgen Klopp, Liverpool wouldn't be anywhere near it, and it's a fair comment, Gareth. But thankfully, on our behalf, we do have Jurgen Klopp, so we are there at this moment in time, and I'm enjoying every fucking minute of it, mate. Lamela is off my Christmas card list, Craig, and Anthony Peters. It was shocking. Absolutely shocking. To be fair to Lamela, to give him a little bit of credit, the ball was bobbling like fuck, but when you know the pitch is shit like that, when you know that the ball's bobbling all over the place, it's your job to get over the top of that ball and keep it down. He didn't. He tried to side foot it in. He should have put his foot over the top of the ball, kicked it into the fucking ground if he had to, and the ball would have went into the net. So, you know, some sympathies for him, but he's a professional footballer. He should have known what was to come. Stephen Richards said, yes, we can win it, fuck the others. There you go. That's what I like to hear. Danny Stevens, just to further on his comment earlier on where he said no, he doesn't believe we can win the league, he's gone on to say that he thinks that we need more depth. Ooh, I don't agree with you there, Danny, mate. I respect your opinion, of course, on the first part about not being able to win the league, but squad depth wise, we're pretty damn strong, mate, at this moment in time. Last season I'd have most certainly agreed with you, but this year, look at the benches that we've had. Look at the players we've been able to bring on, and we still have to bring back Ryan Brewster, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. Keita has to come back in now as well, although look, he hasn't been out long term. So in that sense, Daniel, I would disagree, buddy, because I think we do have strong squad depth. If we were to look at bringing in somebody else, perhaps another striker, perhaps maybe cover for left back or full back, but that's just me being picky. Sauce Overload is in. Good evening to you. Yes, Liverpool could certainly win it. I think if we managed to get 4-point gap, we can hold the points spread over the other contenders. Wembley, our national stadium, disgrace, said Anthony Peters. To be fair to Wembley, to be fair to the good folks at Wembley there and the national stadium, it's not the NFL's fault. It's not Wembley's fault that happened. This stuff was all put in. This stuff was all in the calendar a long time ago. This is all down to Spurs and Spurs not being able to move into the new stadium. So it looks bad on Wembley. It may even look bad on the FA. But to be fair to them, it isn't their fault on this occasion. It's completely down to Spurs. And I'm not saying that to have a dig at Spurs. I mean, look, building a new stadium, complicated issue. Daniel Levy wouldn't have wanted it to run over that long. He would have wanted Spurs to be in there by now. These things happen, but it didn't look great. Let's just say that. Ali A said, good evening, Craig. Good evening to you. Thank you for joining us. Guys, I've noticed the streams are starting to pick back up, and our numbers are going up and up and up. As well as the subscribers, of course, but that's brilliant. But getting you guys on night after night is brilliant as well. So thank you for the constant support of the channel. Thank you to everybody that tunes in night after night. Whether you're new, whether you're old guard, whether you're a mod or whether you're not, thank you for joining us. You're very much appreciated here. Connor's back from Liverpool tonight, so I'm going to drive up to Dublin and meet up with Connor during the week, and we will start getting things moving forward for the new content that we're going to get out there. Yes, we can win the league, said Christopher. Will we is the other question. That's the fucking $16 million question, mate, isn't it? Will we win the league? None of us can answer that at this moment in time, but what we can do is be positive and say that we believe. Jack said hello to all the Liverpool fans. Hello to you, Jack. I thought Potato World was in Ireland. Looked like there's been stuff planted at Wembley. I mean, look, mate, we wouldn't have potato fields that bad. I mean, we'd be embarrassed. Our potato fields have been a lot better, Nick, and they're very unlikely to have a big NFL symbol in the middle of them. That's one thing I couldn't understand there today. Giving free publicity to the NFL. If I was Spurs, I'd have fucking spray painted the Spurs logo in the centre circle or something rather than have the NFL one there. Fun Gamer said, my favourite player on the team is all of them. There you go. I mean, no favourites for Fun Gamer. What else have we got? Farrell said, I do think there'll be some tough decisions to make in the next 2 windows. Players like and can do a job, but may have to be improved upon in order to catch up, overtake, sustained victory. Right, guys, I do have a couple of topics that I thought maybe we could discuss tonight. The first one being a comment from Gini Wijnaldum, and we will get back to whether Liverpool can win the league or not, because I've no doubt more people will join the stream as we go along, and you know, sometimes we tend to go back over stuff, so I'll push on from this a little bit. Gini Wijnaldum has come out this week, and I love Gini for this. I love when players stick the boot in before a game. I don't think he did this intentionally, or he tried to do this to undermine Arsenal. Maybe he did. But he came out and said that he believes that the game against Arsenal may be an easier game for the Reds than the game against Cardiff City at the weekend. What do you guys think about that one? Is he right? Is Gini perhaps thinking that maybe Arsenal will come out and won't sit back as much as Cardiff City did? Arsenal will look to attack and that will let Liverpool counter-attack? I don't know, but whatever you want to make of it, Gini Wijnaldum has come out and made those comments this week. I fucking love Gini, I have to say. We spoke last night about him and I think he is our player of the season so far. So let me know, what are your thoughts on that one? Do you think Arsenal's going to be an easy game for the Reds? Do you think it's going to be a tough game? I have to be honest, my opinion is we're going to beat them. I think it's that straightforward. I am really confident Liverpool will go to the Emirates and collect 3 points next weekend. I just don't consider Arsenal as good as they're being made out to be. I think they've been very, very lucky to have this unbeaten streak as long as they have. Fair play to them for doing it. But I think once they come up against the big boys, and we are the fucking big boys at this moment in time, I think they're going to be undone. And I think Liverpool can go there full of confidence. As I said, I predicted a 3-1 victory yesterday, so I'm going to stay with that one. But I'd love to know how you guys are feeling, because we spoke before the Manchester City game. A couple of people were nervous. We came out of that one with a point. I think we were all fairly happy with that. Manchester City were a different Manchester City that day as well, as were Liverpool. Both teams very respectful of each other, which is something we haven't really seen from Manchester City so far this season. They went out to Spurs tonight and they just did a job on them without getting out of second gear. But when they came to Anfield, it was completely different. Manchester City just came to Anfield not to get beaten that day. We went to Spurs and we've won as well, so if we're comparing apples with apples, Liverpool have done that this season as of Manchester City. Liverpool have also been to Stamford Bridge and left there with a point, and we're playing Arsenal this weekend, so that'll be 4 very tough games out of the way for the Reds. Not too bad. 11 games, 4 tough games down, 3 of them away from home. I'm looking forward to the game. It's usually a good game between Liverpool and Arsenal. Reece said, hey Craig, glad there's no hard feelings between us after having the Saturday. I just wanted to stop in and see how things are going. Love the vids. Reece, as I said on Saturday, mate, it takes a big person to apologise. Thank you for that apology, and welcome. You're welcome here anytime, mate. Thank you for the kind words again this evening. Great to have you back. Sam said, I think it's going to be a tough game because of their attack. The defence is honestly a shambles. They rely on their attack, where we can see out a game without conceding. Yeah, we can. Just straightforward. Yeah, we can. How did Lamella miss that? Says facility time. It was shocking. It was a really bad miss. Who were Spurs playing? Manchester City, mate. Subi, great to have you with us. Hope you're feeling better, mate. I don't want to give away what you said earlier, but you know, Subi hasn't been well, so great to have you with us. I hope you're feeling a little bit better. The Spurs stadium is a complete fuck up and should have been finished, said Megan Anki. I was trying to be a little bit more diplomatic, mate, but you are right. So yeah, it should have been finished. It isn't finished. Are they getting a little bit too much leeway from the Premier League? That's one thing I wonder. I don't know. Have they got away with a little bit too much? I mean, was that pitch really playable tonight? I mean, from a visual perspective, from us as fans looking at it, it was very tough to distinguish things at times, because in my stupid little pea-sized brain, when I seen the NFL sideline, that sometimes I thought that was the sideline of the field. One thing we can say tonight for sure was it was probably one of the easiest games the Lions people had. Linesmen, assistant referees, whatever we want to call them these days. They'd fucking markings all over the pitch. So absolutely no excuses for those guys not to get the decisions right tonight. What else have we got? Craig, we've the best squad in the league, said Stephen Richards. Excuse me guys, tablet and coke time, one sec. I said coke, didn't I? How fucking dare I? Diet chav time. Darren Bray from Hoffenheim is currently linked with Liverpool. Would you take him at our club? Sam, mate, I'd love to give you an honest answer, but the truth is I haven't seen that much of him. You may have, buddy, so please do let me know your opinion of him, and if you would like to see him with the club. I'm not so sure we're going to see much business, if any, done by Liverpool in January, if I'm being honest. Sam, mate, yes, there you go. Done, no problem, sir. Welcome. Tony LFC said City to win the league. I think you were just sorry. I think you were answering Fun Gamer, mate. Apologies. Ben said NFL, American football, Wembley, home of English football. The two don't mix. Well, if Shahid Khan, is that the gentleman's name that wants to buy the Wembley Stadium, the guy that owns Fulham? Interesting to see what happens with that one. He said that he's withdrawn his offer, but we all know that's bullshit. It's one of those, I've withdrawn my offer, and then they go, please come back, Mr. Khan. Please come back and buy it. Okay, then, well, do you know what? I will buy it, but I want this, this, and this. I honestly don't think England need a national stadium. I have to say, if I was the FA and the amount of money that's been looked there, the fact that England can play at that stadium if they want for forever, if that's part of the deal, I don't see any problem with it. I like the idea of England not having a home. I like the idea of a national team, whether that be Brazil, Spain, England. Ireland's a little bit different because we're a small country. There isn't as many stadiums for us to play in. But for the likes of England, they could go up to Old Trafford, they could go to Anfield, they could go down to the Emirates, Spurs Stadium, over to Leicester City, anywhere, Villa Park. They could play all over the country and give fans the opportunity to truly make the English national side a national side rather than a London-centric team. Look, I'm Irish. I've no place to really say this. I'm just giving you my opinion on it. Certainly easier for players to motivate themselves to play Arsenal, said Mr. RJC. Away, not likely, but good on Genie. I don't know, mate. I get where he's coming from with that easy game. It is perhaps a little bit disrespectful, but I just have this thing about Arsenal where I always feel confident that we're going to give them a beating. I don't know why. I just think they flatter to deceive. I think they've got a soft centre. I think they can be got at. I think, you know my thoughts on Xhaka. I've spoken about him a lot. Lots and lots of respect for Aubameyang and Lacazette. Ramsey can be pretty good at times. Ozil may have one of his good 4 or 5 games a year. Other than that, though, I think man for man, our Liverpool team is much, much stronger than that Arsenal team. Craig, I think Genie means that Klopp knows what Arsenal are all about. Yeah, Stephen, that's probably what he means, but I like to stir shit a little bit, buddy, so I know you're most probably right, but just let me stir this shit a little bit. Crosby Red said, Arsenal playing midweek in the Carabao Cup, so they may be less energetic than us. Genuinely didn't think about that, Crosby Red. Once when Liverpool go out of a competition, I tend to just put it out of my mind, so good point. Be interesting to see what type of a team they put out as well. Will they want to keep that unbeaten run going in the League Cup? Would they mind if they lost their unbeaten run there? Would they sacrifice it perhaps for a stronger selection or a stronger side at the weekend against Liverpool? Tony Kelly said, I wouldn't say it's going to be easy against Arsenal, but I want us to push up a gear. Don't know about putting in Fabinho again. Oh, I'm fully up for putting in Fabinho, Tony, if I'm being honest. Again, these are just fan opinions, mate. You may think differently. I fully respect your thoughts. Earlier on in the season, I was fully up for no Fabinho, don't play him yet, he's not ready. But after seeing him in the last couple of games and seeing what he's capable of, I think he could swarm all over that Arsenal midfield. So I would be very happy to see him play. Just to touch on the team selection I spoke about yesterday that I'd like to see for the game. And of course, please do put your team in here, guys, and let me know what you'd like to see. I'd go for Alisson in goal, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Joe Gomez, Virgil van Dijk, Andy Robertson, Fabinho, Gini Wijnaldum, James Milner, and then the front three I wouldn't change. Man like Genie buzzing for the game at the weekend, said Sam. Right, some more comments, guys. Bear with me till I get through these. Craig, you look like Obi-Wan in that top, said Stephen Richards. It's an Under Armour top tonight, actually, guys. I've got to be honest. I didn't grab the Adidas top out of the wardrobe. It was fucking chilly, and this is a heavy jumper, so I put this one on. Some lad called me a billiard ball head earlier on Twitter. Fucking gobshy. Billiard ball head. I don't mind a good slagging, but I at least like people to be original. Hey, Imran's in. How are you, Imran? Great to have you with us. You said LFC will win the title. Last year we had problems with goalkeeper, defence and midfield, but now we've the best squad. Manchester City, Liverpool are after you. Of course, I think there's an 8 goal swing now, if memory serves me correct, guys, in the goal difference, and I wouldn't pay too much heed to it, honestly. It's far too early in the season to be worrying about goal difference. And I know people are going to say, look, you can say that, but the more it gets stretched out, yeah, you can look at it like that. What is it? A point. Let's look at it. Maximum it can be is a point, even if it is that. So just all we can do is concentrate on winning, concentrate on week after week after week. We can only affect what happens with Manchester City in 2 games of the season. We've already played them once. We've got to go to the Etihad. Other than that, what Manchester City do is fully out of our control. Sauce Overload said he agrees with Genie. They are more attacking, excuse me. So I can see us picking them apart on the break. 2-0 by half time. Brian Morrissey is here. Sam is in as well. Aubameyang is a threat, but we have big Virgil van Dijk. Papbot said the way Arsenal play will suit our attacking play. There'll be more room for us to work in. I think we'll pull them apart. I agree with Sauce Overload, who thinks we may be a couple of goals up early on. I honestly think Arsenal are set up for this Liverpool team. I'm looking forward to some of the banter during the week with the Arsenal fans, because they're getting a bit of a swagger now. They feel like they're back at the big boys table. Let's see how they get on. If we're still up there after Christmas, then it's on, said Mega Nonky. Yeah, you're right. Whoever said that Arsenal play more open so we can really hurt them, I would give Fabinho a run. He'll make the tackles. Henderson's still injured. Reese thinks, I don't think we're as aggressive going forward as we were last season. What do you think? I agree with you, Reese. 100%, mate. We've spoken about it a few times as well, and I wonder, are we sacrificing a little bit of attacking threat to have that little bit more defensive solidity? I'd love to see stats on, I don't have them, but I'd love to see stats on how many men were committing forward to counter attacks this season compared to what we were last year. I spoke last week, I think it was when I came home from holidays, about may this be the reason why the front three weren't perhaps as potent as they had been. And I'm not talking about from a goal scoring perspective. I'm talking about their play, their interplay, their setting up of each other. It seemed to me at sometimes Mohamed Salah was getting the ball surrounded by 3 players. He'd got nowhere to go, nobody to lay it off to. Mane was gone one way. Firmino perhaps would have been an available ball, but then we didn't have those midfield runners that we had last year. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, for instance, powering up from midfield at the end of last season. I don't think we're as aggressive going forward. I've covered that one. Liverpool need to beat Arsenal. They can't afford to play catch up to City, said Gareth Phillips. LFC_5 said congratulations to the Red Sox on their World Series win. I hope Tom Werner spends big in January after that taste for winning. On that one, actually, I did see something from John W. Henry. He believes that Jurgen Klopp can deliver a special season this year for Liverpool and end our title drought. He was speaking after, of course, the Red Sox did claim the World Series. I'm not even going to begin to pretend I understand what the fuck baseball, what the World Series. I know what the World Series is, but I'm not even going to pretend I understand baseball. But look, they've won the World Series again. I think maybe this is their 2nd or 3rd time under the Red Sox stewardship that they've won the World Series. But speaking afterwards, he said that he believes it could be a double celebration this season. That Jurgen Klopp, he thinks, might finally end that long drought for a title at Liverpool Football Club. I have to say I believe him. We spoke earlier on, the whole title of this show is, do you think Liverpool can go on and win the league? The owner does, no doubt the manager does. I've very little doubt that the players do. So I guess it's just down to us fans then. If we think they can do it, I think so. I don't think John W. Henry is just saying this for the sake of it. I think he truly looks at what's going on now and thinks he has the right man in charge. He's seen the way we're playing. He's seen the results that we're getting. He's seen what we did last season. Getting to a Champions League final last year with the lack of squad depth that we had and the way we played, it was tremendous. So this year, we can only get better. The squad depth is there. We've won less competition out of the League Cup out of the way. Look, I'm trying to pitch that as a positive thing. Of course, everybody wants to win every competition that we're in, but you know, it's the League Cup, so if we had to sacrifice one. Subi said R.I.P. Vichai, and of course echo those sentiments. When is the Ox back? Asks Tony. Honest answer is, mate, I don't know. I honestly don't know. We'd originally thought maybe November, December. He's back on light training, if memory serves me correct. I'd say we'll probably see him after Christmas, but that's at a guess. Darren Calvin has joined. How are you, sir? It's not just Coke in there. I bet you've got Jack Daniels and Coke in there, said Jack. If I did, I'd honestly say yeah, mate, but I don't drink, so there'd be no Jack Daniels in there. And even if I was to lash a drink in there, it'd most likely be vodka, because whiskey isn't really my thing. Whiskey tends to make me black out and do silly stuff, so I wouldn't be drinking whiskey anyway. Let alone Jack Daniels, by the way. If I was drinking whiskey, it'd be fucking Irish whiskey. Liverpool said, De Bruyne, Modric or Dybala, who would you take? For us, not Modric, he's too old. Probably Dybala, if I could take one now. Although, look, De Bruyne is absolutely stunning. I just think Dybala being those couple of years younger, we get a bit longer out of him, so maybe I'm just being greedy. Did you see somebody at Allison on Twitter and the big bearded legend replied and blew him away? I did see that, Tony. Was it in Portuguese or Spanish or something? But yeah, you don't go atting players if you're trying to put them down. I don't understand that mentality. Yeah, if you want to go on and talk about a player and say, look, I don't think Alisson did well today, or Alisson this, Alisson that, Mignolet this, whatever. But don't go fucking tagging or atting them into trying to undermine them. I don't get it. Especially if you pretend to be a fan of the club, or if you profess to be a fan of the football club, why would you be wanting to undermine your own players? It's just silly. Another transfer rumour today, Federico Chiesa. What do we think? I'll leave that to everybody else, mate. Again, not somebody I know much about. Senior El Flamo said, a full week of rest, 3 points will be harvested. The 5 next games should give us a few points space away from City, but they're hard to shake off. They really fucking are, aren't they? Jesus Christ, every time you think we may just shake them off or we may just get a gap, they're right there back. But look, they are champions. We always knew this was going to be a tough task. At the start of the year, many people were just hoping that we could cut that points deficit, that we could be there or thereabouts, that we could be in the argument after Christmas. So far so good. 10 games in, 26 points, still unbeaten in the Premier League. 4 goals conceded, I think, only in the Premier League this season in 10 games, so not too shabby. Meganonki would have De Bruyne from that list, by the way. Dybala for LFC_5. England could host a World Cup tomorrow without building a single new stadium. Wembley is pointless, said Brian Morrissey. They could, yeah, no, I agree. So just look around the Premier League. What have you got there? 20 clubs, and I'd say probably, at a guess, 12, 13 of those stadiums might meet FIFA standards. Maybe a few less, maybe 10 would be good enough straight away, and a few more would need a few little bits and pieces done to them. Put on top of that then the fact that if you were to have a World Cup, you'd have use of Twickenham, a few other grounds as well probably be available. So yeah, England could certainly do it, and I'm with you. I don't think they need a national stadium. If you have a national stadium in a country the size of the UK, for instance, or England, excuse me, not the UK, that's not a country, England, then you were kind of making it a London-centric team, because fans from the northwest, fans from the north, they're not really going to get a chance or have much want to travel all the way down to London to see England play all the time. So when they get to go out and about, I think it's a little bit better. Spain do it, Brazil do it. Look, I know Brazil have the Maracanã and all as well, and what a stadium that is, but they do travel, particularly for their friendly games. A lot of the time Brazil are going around the world playing friendlies, very rarely play them in Brazil. I got called John Lennon in school today, and the school I go to was John Lennon Secondary School, said Ben. Well, you've got to take that as a massive compliment, Ben. All you got to do there is find your Yoko Ono, mate. Liverpool's legend said, this reminds me of 2014. Sean Chow said, we can push Man City to the end. I truly believe Man City will crack under pressure and Liverpool can win the Premier League title finally. It's been a while. It has been a fucking while. Yeah, I hope we can do it. I'm hungry for it. I really, really want it. Every week that goes by, every 3 points that goes in the bank, it's one more game ticked off. It's a little bit more belief. As Klopp said, and as the club said, turning doubters into believers, and that's what we need to do. Besiktas want to post Karius back. He's on a final yellow for stupidity on social media. Can they send them back though? That's the thing. I think they are obliged to buy Loris Karius, if memory serves me correct. Craig, how do you get a spanner? By being here for quite a long time, mate, and being loyal and frequent, as Pepperetta said, and trustworthy, because at the end of the day, the people that we give spanners to, we're trusting them to moderate the chat for us. So we've had one incident already where people have seen somebody turned a bit rogue on us and went a bit fucking nuts one day. So we have to be a little bit careful about things at time. We owe a lot to the people who are moderators of the channel, because they look out, they've got my back all the time. A lot of the time there's spam comes in, abuse comes in, stuff like that that can distract and put me off when I'm trying to do live streams, and I've got chat coming up, and the Brilliant Blue Spanner Ultras make sure that that shit goes away a lot of the time before I even see it. You have to have a cape first. Who said that? Anthony Peters. There you go. That is true as well. I mean, the cape is part of the stuff you do need. Anthony Harris said, the bad thing about 2014 was we lost it away to Man City on Boxing Day. This year we play Manchester City away the 3rd of January, hoping the ref will have had an eye test this time around. To be fair, in 13-14, it was the Chelsea game for me, mate, that lost it for us. Yeah, it was. I still to this day don't understand why Brendan Rodgers went out there to try and win that game when a point would have done. And I know people can say that you don't go out and ever try and just get a point, but Chelsea were happy to just sit there. So I think we should have been just as happy to play out a boring ass draw. And if you got a clear cut opportunity, go and take it. But look, that's past. We can all be geniuses with hindsight. At the time we were on a roll, we were confident, we were beating teams, we were demolishing teams actually. So yeah, maybe at the time we just thought, fuck it, keep the pressure up, go get a win. We all know how it ended up, so there's no point in us even talking about it. Craig, could you have picked a better time to run a fan community? Probably not. I'm a little bit lucky in that sense, haven't I? A lot of the time, when I do podcasts over the years, you notice that when things are going well and Liverpool get a big result or something, the numbers go through the roof. I mean, you get much more people listening to your stuff and interacting with what you're doing. So yeah, I probably was lucky, and myself and Connor did pick a good time to start this LFC fan community, as you said. So fingers crossed it's only the start of it though, and I'm not talking about from our perspective, I mean from a Liverpool perspective. Fingers crossed we are going to see a few years of success, and we're on here in 2 years time with 50,000 subscribers. You guys will have been here since day one pretty much, and we'll be talking about the good old days. Craig, do you think Liverpool can beat Arsenal next week, and what's your prediction? Said Phantom Cross. Yes mate, I'm very confident we will go and beat Arsenal. Arsenal have had a great start on a great run, as I've said, but there's weaknesses there. I think we're too strong for them all over the field. I don't think their attack is going to be as productive against their defence. 3-1. 3-1 for me is the guess I've been going with, the prediction I've been given. So let me know what you think. Phantom Cross, let me know if you're confident the Reds can do it. And of course, let me know your score prediction. Louis has joined. Louis, how are you? Always a pleasure to have Louis in. The Jewy is back as well. Or the Jewy. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. The Jewy. Realistically, City have too much, in my opinion. And look, that's your honest opinion, mate, so I respect it. I much prefer people coming on here and telling the truth rather than just trying to blow smoke up our asses and, you know, saying what we want to hear. City have too much. They are a good side. I still think we can do it, though. I've given my reasons why. I think, and as a couple of people have mentioned as well, the Champions League, Klopp. Pep has to have an eye on the Champions League, and I think that might be the little distraction that we need to try and nip in. But we've got to keep grinding out wins. We've got to be there. We've got to be keeping the pressure up. We can never allow a points gap to open. Look, 2-3 points, yeah, that might happen. One win, one loss, it can go either way, but we can't be falling 5-6 points behind. It's just too much to make up then. Craig, is Brewster good? Do we see him play at a high level yet? Yes, he's very fucking good, Brandon. if you remember at the time before Liverpool had signed him to a new deal, there was a lot of clubs interested in him. A lot of really, really high level clubs around Europe. A fair few in Germany, a couple in Spain. He is a once in a generation player, in my opinion. I'm not quite saying he's a Steven Gerrard because he's a completely different type of footballer, but you get where I'm coming from. There's always a Steven Gerrard, a Michael Owen, a Harry Kane if you're at Spurs. These players that you can just see and you just know that they're going to break through. When Mo Salah was picking up his Player of the Season award last year, Jurgen Klopp made sure to go out of his way to have a little word about Ryan Brewster when he was talking about Mo Salah and his acceptance speech and stuff. So you can tell how highly the manager rates him. Those behind the scenes seem to think that he is the next big thing. But look, he has to fulfill his potential. It's easy for us sitting here talking about it, but the young man has to get his chance. He has to prove himself. I think he will. I'm very much looking forward to seeing him in a Liverpool shirt. Yeah, it's exciting. It's just more and more excitement at the club. Spend a week in Raptor cellar with his troll prisoners. There, that's part of your training to become a mod. I'm not getting a Yoko Ono. I broke up with my girlfriend last week, said Ben. Not to worry, mate. I mean, it's all part of growing up, isn't it? It's part of life. You'll find the one eventually, buddy. We all do. Craig, did you see that the LFC owner said that after the Red Sox game, it hurt in Kiev, but all of that was good progress and we're now solid at the back. Klopp has fixed the problems. I did, Tony. It's great to see our owners coming out and talking like that. Congratulations to them and the Red Sox fans all over the world on winning the World Series, but it would be nice if it was a double celebration for FSG this year and Liverpool can lift that fucking Premier League title that we all crave so much. I feel like we're gonna have this conversation probably another 100 times before the season's over. Can we do it? Will we do it? Can we keep up with Manchester City? When is the point that people that don't believe, for those of you out there that think Manchester City might have too much, at what point would you believe? At what point would you start to think that, you know what, maybe Liverpool can actually go and do this? Ant said, City fans singing about the Reds again, still upset with that 5-1 hiding. I don't understand any opposition fans singing about the other team, particularly when they're not fucking playing them. Chelsea are world renowned for singing about Liverpool, as you know. They're obsessed with us. Every fucking game that they play, they're singing about us, Gerrard, stuff that has nothing to do with their team or their opponents. So yeah, I don't get it. It's a weak mindset. Typical Tottenham, they always bottle things. How did Eric Lamela miss that chance? The pitch didn't help him, but as I said, he should have got his foot over the top of the ball and kept it down. But you don't take your chances, you don't get the points. And they had a couple. Harry Kane had a pretty good chance in the first half. Raheem Sterling had a great chance for Manchester City as well to make it 2-0. It is what it is. You're right, Spurs, they are just a high level team, but not an elite team. They're never going to win the Premier League, in my opinion. And when I say never, I do mean never. I'm not talking about this year or next year. I mean never, ever, ever going to win the Premier League. In the next 20 years, anyway. How can I predict that? You can say, I don't know. I just have a feeling. I just don't think they've got the mindset. I don't think the club have it in them. The Champions League, they're looking in trouble this year as well. But they are a very good side. When I say they won't win the Premier League, I'm not trying to say Spurs are shy. Far from it. They're a very good team, but they're just not the top level team. They're a Champions League team. They're a Champions League qualifying team, Champions League last 16 quarter-final level team, but they're not going to be Premier League champions, in my humble opinion. Interesting though, Lopetegui got the bullet tonight. For anyone who doesn't know, Real Madrid sacked Lopetegui, so interesting to see what's going to happen there with their next manager. The smart money seems to be on Conte going in and taking the job. There was some talk of them hiring from within or promoting somebody from within. And of course then there's the whole conversation around Pochettino as well. It's no secret that Florentino Perez really wanted both Harry Kane and Maurizio Pochettino in the summer. But a podcast I listened to, the Graham Hunter podcast, they were talking about it and they were letting it be known that Florentino Perez just cannot be arsed fucking dealing with Daniel Levy. He just said, of all the chairmen he's ever dealt with, Daniel Levy literally argues over every fucking penny. And if I was a Spurs chairman, I'd be delighted. Or if I was a Spurs fan, I'd be delighted to hear that, because that's what I'd want from my chairman. But yeah, it's no secret they do want Pochettino. I don't think they're going to get him now. I mean, I'd be amazed if Spurs would let him go. Conte seems like an easy fix. He could come in, stabilise things for Real Madrid, get them back up into the Champions League positions, keep them in the European competition. Other than that, there's a bit of a rebuild on for Real Madrid there. They've got some good players. Losing Cristiano Ronaldo and not replacing his goals was a big gamble for them. Yeah, be interesting to see what happens. I don't give a fuck really, if I'm being honest. I hate Real Madrid, and not because of what happened with Liverpool in the Champions League final. That was only the cherry on top of the cake. Everybody knows I'm a Barcelona fan. I despise Real Madrid for various reasons. Fuck Lamella, serves him right, diving cunt, said Rod. Did you see the dive from in the first half? It wasn't from Lamella, was it? It was from Lucas Moura. That was a ridiculous dive. Absolutely ridiculous. Rightly got booked as well, but it's very unusual for a Spurs player to dive like that, isn't it? I mean, you never really see Spurs players dive, and they're renowned for their honesty, particularly Harry Kane and Dele Alli. I hope Kate is back soon. We need a ball controller that can feed our front three. Shaqiri can do that as well, but you can't always play Shaqiri, said Tony Kelly. Liverpool legend said, this is a crazy season for so long. We're rocking it. Real have already sacked their man. Dortmund are going crazy. Dortmund are doing really well. Can they hold off Bayern Munich for the entire season? I don't know, but you've got to say they're doing well. How long do I have to watch your channel for? What's this? Or to get a spanner? I don't know, mate. There's going to be a stage where we're going to have to cap the spanners as well, because, you know, look through our system here. Every third, fourth person, maybe every second person is a spanner. There is no real agenda, if I'm being honest. Yeah, there's just sometimes we just go, oh look, he's been around a while, have a spanner. There is no like hard and fast rules, buddy. Spurs are a real estate business, conning people with the young English players coming through, pretending to be a club for the best English talent. They do also get the media behind them, Brian. They get a lot of love from the media and a lot of excuses made for them. Let's be honest, Hugo Lloris, how many fuck-ups has that man made? Jesus Christ. If it isn't for France, he's doing them for Spurs, and I'm talking consistent fuck-ups. But yeah, they're still saying, oh, that's an uncharacteristic error there from Hugo Lloris. He's fucking pretty renowned for it at this point. Swap Bale for Pochettino, said Mr. RJC. I don't think they're going to do that, to be fair. Is a manager worth a Gareth Bale? I don't know, maybe, I suppose. Depends how much you want them. Take 6 points off City because the Toffees are going to do them twice. Yeah, can't really see that happening, Gareth. I mean, you've already rolled over and had the belly tickled once by United this year, and no doubt you'll gift them another 3 points when the second game comes around, because you do like to just give United 6 points a season. Conte makes sense, but fuck him, said Luke Skywalker. Craig, will you be live streaming the match this weekend? Absolutely, mate. Every single game will be on here for a watch along. If you don't have a spanner, start with a spoon, said Rod. There you go. Mighty lad. Yes, you do deserve a spanner, mate. There you go. Spanner. Spanner approved. Spanner, spanner, spanner. There you go, mighty lad. You do deserve a mate. Yes, you have been around a long time. I probably should have done that beforehand, so apologies. But there you go. Spanner done. Connor come back again, and Craig will have dished out the spanners left, right and centre. Congrats to the Liverpool players for burying Madrid. Go on Suarez and Coutinho. Yeah, really nice to see Louis bang a hat-trick there in El Clasico. Not very often players get to do that. I know Gary Lineker did it many years back, but yeah, fair play to Louis. Some people may not like him. I love him. Love the guy. Don't care what he did. Really big fan of Luis Suarez. Love his attitude. Love the way he plays the game. So I was delighted to see him get a hat-trick, and even more happy to see them fucking slaughter Madrid 5-1. Rod said he's happy to share a spanner, but not in combat. Wait, what else have we got? I have a couple of more things I wanted to talk about, guys. I'm still trying to get used to this new damn fucking phone. Yes, so the big topic that I have written down for tonight, in a recent article in The Echo, John Aldridge, he writes a regular article in The Echo. He spoke about Liverpool and what's happening at the minute, and the main thing I took from this article that he wrote was about Roberto Firmino. He went on to say that he believes Roberto Firmino isn't quite at his best yet this season. And I want to know what you guys think about that, what you guys think of the situation with Roberto Firmino. And look, I'm not trying to pour pressure on Bobby here. I love Bobby. Everybody knows that. He's my favourite player. But there's no denying that he hasn't been at his brilliant best yet this season. Let me know what you think that reason is. Thankfully, it hasn't affected results. It's tough to say because when you're talking about Bobby Firmino, it's easy to just point at goal tallies. But Bobby Firmino is about a lot more than goal tallies. He's about pressure, he's about creative runs, he's about the press, he's about being Jurgen Klopp's man on the field, he is about being the fulcrum for that front three. He does a lot of the donkey work that allows Mohamed Salah and Sadio Mane to flourish at times. So let's not forget, he's basically almost reinvented that false nine position. So let me know your thoughts on Bobby Firmino. Do you think it's fair to say that he hasn't been up to his best yet? Do you think that's been harsh? I agree with John Aldridge in the main about what he said. He wasn't too critical, far from it. He went on to say that, we know how good Bobby Firmino is, but he hasn't been at his best, and why is that? I don't know. It's tough to say. It's not probably because of burnout of the World Cup. He didn't actually play much time for Brazil in the World Cup. He was, behind Jesus in the pecking order, which baffled me. I'll never understand why. I have my suspicions as to why he was behind Jesus in the pecking order, but that's probably not for me to say on here. He's my 5th favourite player, said Fun Gamer. Lovely to see so many spanners, said James Fullen. We're Blue Spanner FC, or the Blue Spanner Ultras. City play Man U in a couple of weeks. Rare that I hope for a United win, so a draw would be nice. Yeah, that's a horrible situation, Stephen, isn't it? Knowing that United aren't going to be in the title race, but then play Manchester City, it's sickening to say that you want United to win. So we'll just sit back silently and say nothing and see what happens. Shawnee53 says next for Arsenal, Fulham, Watford and Bournemouth. That could easily be 12 points. And I agree. Bournemouth are playing very well this season, by the way. Let's not completely underestimate them. Eddie Howe has them playing some really good football. Very confident as well. Callum Wilson on fire. Arsenal, I feel like we're going to get something against Arsenal. Fulham aren't in great form. I think we'll beat them. Watford playing very well, but going to be a tough game. But you'd have to say you wouldn't be amazed for us to get 12 points out of that. 10 points wouldn't be the end of the world, but anything less than that, and I don't know who Manchester City's next 4 games are against, so we'd have to look that up. But I think Shawnee, it's possible, mate. It is definitely possible. Moreno's linked to Arsenal. Can you imagine? Said Tony Kelly. Somebody mentioned that last night, actually. Maybe it was the night before. They linked him obviously to having worked with Unai Emery before at Sevilla. Makes sense. He's out of contract in the summer. If you're an Arsenal fan though and you're screaming at the club and the manager to reinforce your defence, you don't really want to see Albi Moreno rocking up and being hailed as your defensive solution. You'd be a little bit worried, wouldn't you? Like it's sticking your finger in a fucking dike. That was a bit of a weird phrase, sticking your finger in a dike. That could totally blow back up on my face, but I think you know what I'm trying to say. What else have we got? I think it's new signing. Some people don't settle in with new players and switching formations could affect him. What are you on about? He scored the winner against PSG. Yes, mate. He scored 4 goals this season. I'm not denying that. But scoring a winner against PSG doesn't make up for the other many games we played this season. I don't know. Let's say he played another 9 games this season where he hasn't quite been at his best. He scored a goal, yes, absolutely. I love Bobby. I'm not looking for reasons to have a dig at him. I'm just saying that I think John Aldridge has a point, and I'm wondering perhaps if anybody has any ideas as to why. I think it's a new signing. Some people don't settle in with new players, and switching formations could affect him too. Tony said, I think he's been good in the PSG game. He was at his best. Hardly been able to see, he said Fun Gamer. It's a fair point. Bobby is a quality player, but he looks a little confused at the moment. May not be understanding the new role, said Tom Boland. Brian Morrissey said, other clubs have realised how pivotal he is to our play and they're boxing him off. That's the thing as well. Other clubs are going to look back and see how Liverpool played last year. They're going to look at how we created these opportunities, how we pressed high up the field. But I think we've changed this year as well. We're not going as gung-ho. The difference between the Liverpool when Jurgen Klopp first came in, and it was all about gegenpressing, it was all about getting up in people's faces, winning the ball back soon. As time has gone on, we've altered that, and we've become this team that can just have these little spells in games where, yes, we're always playing at a high intensity, the guys always cover a fair distance, but as I'm sure you've noticed, there's been 15-20 minute patches in games where something clicks, whether it be a tackle that just switches the guys on, or a near miss or something, but something clicks and the guys just go into stellar mode or stealth mode, and they just have this 15-20 minute burst where they just blow teams away. And we've yet to really see that this season, but I ain't complaining about it because we're yet to see it, but yet we still are where we are. Crosby Red said, it was hard enough wanting Everton to win against the Manx, but now I have to want the Manx to beat City. This is a mad old season. It's tough, alright. It's tough. I'd rather just sit back and say nothing than actually let those words come out of my mouth. Ken Zood said he was the one that spoke about Alberto Moreno joining Arsenal. Craig, have you heard about the Ousmane Dembele news today? Apparently they want to let him go or something along those lines. I think that's false, mate. I think that was a few months back. I think somebody, from what I seen on Twitter anyway, and I could have completely missed the point on this, somebody had posted something, but it was something from a while back that they were just trying to recycle. Again, don't hold me to that. I could be wrong. Top 6 is no longer set in stone. Bournemouth, Watford and Wolves must be licking their lips. Bournemouth and Watford have certainly had a really good start to the season. I actually don't know where Wolves are in the league, if I'm being honest. I think I haven't paid much attention to them. Let me just have a quick check actually and see where they are. I probably should know. Well, no, should I know the league table off by heart? Where are Wolves? They're 10th. They're 10th, so they're not doing too well. Off 6th spot. What are they? 4 points? 5 points off 6th spot. So I suppose they're averaging out, but Bournemouth and Watford have really had a good start to the season. NFL stains all over the pitch, said Pepper Red. It was a bit embarrassing, I have to say. It really was. Look at Mo, it's just a phase for Bobby, said Liverpool legend. Oh no, look, there's no doubt in that. Bobby will come back around to being fucking fantastic. Thanks for your responses, I'll take a 2-0, said Phantom Cross. A 2-0 do me very nicely, mate. I love a clean sheet. Mo is pouring nicely. Purring, that's the fucking one word in the English language I cannot say properly with my accent. Purring, yeah, purring. I say, see, if you say P-O-O-R, to me I say that the exact same way. I say P-O-U-R or P-U-R-R-I-N-G. Purring, pouring, pour. All the same with my accent, so apologies on that one. Bobby has improved his game, gets more goals since Salah came in. We need to be positive, Craig. I do love a bit of positivity, Tony, you're right. Maybe I'm just struggling for topics to have conversations about here, and I don't want to be talking badly about any of our players. So yeah, you're right, stick with the positivity and we'll push on. Arsenal 1, Liverpool 4, said Ben. Who cares? Salah 2, Mane 1, Bobby 1. There's something beautiful about the front three all getting on the score sheet. There's something just extra tasty about a win, and we get to see the front three all score. Claire Dean said we'll beat Arsenal 3-1. I'm with you, Claire. That's the score I'm going with as well. Will said Liverpool, he's one of his predictions here. Liverpool will take the lead on 14 minutes through Salah before Aubameyang double puts us behind on the 34th and the 38th. Then VVD will score a header. Craig wins. In the 67th minute, then Mane will slide in to win it. 93. Interesting. Very, very precise again, Will. Pepper Red said, we're solid but less clinical this season, almost grown up like. That's true. It is almost like we've developed or we've matured. I still would like to see a bit of that gung-ho attitude from time to time. We are that type of team. I think we're at our best as well when we're like that. Just those periods of absolute fucking madness where nobody knows what's going to happen. Sometimes I imagine last season in the Champions League, a manager from the opposition side must have just gone, well, that escalated quickly. Like, just all of a sudden the game's tight. Look at the Roma game, and then Liverpool just switch it on and boom, before you know it, they're out of sight. Hope the Anfield pitch will be okay next weekend after the Rugby League International game, said Paul Turner. Didn't even know there was one on, Paul, have to be honest. Mike Haynes said some people take time to adapt. Look at Bernardo Silva today. He looks a completely different class from last season. Same with Keita. For us, Keita is a monster. I was looking a lot at Bernardo Silva today, mate, and he does look class. He really looks like he's settled now. Very, very good player. And as you said, Keita will be the very same for us. Better, I'd say. I'd even go on to say he'll be better than Bernardo Silva. That's how highly I rate Naby Keita. I'm hoping that the Anfield pitch will be also hosting Callum Smith in a world title defence. I hope he gets to go ahead for that fight. I'm definitely coming over for it if it happens. I'm just waiting. I'm waiting to see that he gets to go ahead. It'll be very interesting to see him defend that world title at Anfield, and I hope he gets it. He said it's his dream. The Smith family have done a lot for the city of Liverpool, particularly for boxing in Liverpool, so if it can be made happen, I hope there's a big push for it, because we've seen Tony Bellew get the fight at Goodison Park. That was brilliant to see for him. Lots of love for Tony Bellew. He may be a blue nose, but he's a massive boxer. He's a tremendous fella, and he's got the heart of a fucking lion, so well done to him, but I'd love to see Callum Smith get the opportunity to do it. Brian Morris, he said, Klopp isn't stupid. He knows we can't go on winning games 5-4. We need to get used to more controlled performances and fewer goals. It's true. It is true, mate. As somebody else said, it's like we've grown up. No, Bobby's first touch in general play have dipped a little, just a dip in form. He'll pick up though. He will, of course, James, because he's Bobby fucking Firmino. Man does what he wants. I love that dude. I really do love that dude. Do you know what though? It seems weird. Is it just me, or does anybody else find it really strange when Bobby Firmino has a normal haircut? Like, he just has brown hair. I'm so used to this madness on his head that when I see him now with his normal haircut, I just feel a bit meh. I almost want him to go blonde or fucking pink or something mad just to be more Bobby Firmino. Klopp said when he came to Liverpool, we're attack heavy, so he had to build from backwards as opposed to sorting out the defence first. Now he's done both and it just needs to hit its peak. I said the very same thing, Anthony, a couple of seasons back. We were talking about the Liverpool squad at the time, and it was like Klopp was working from front to back. Now, as you've said, it seems to be that the major pieces have been put in every position, so it's just a matter of fine-tuning things and hoping for the best. 3-1 for Liverpool Legend for the game. 3-0 for Fun Gamer, said Bobby Moe and a VVD header. City fans trying to pick up a horrible thing that happened with Leicester, saying it's a disgrace. There was a Liverpool shirt around the flowers. I was very strong on social media about that, Tony. If anyone's on Twitter and they've seen my account, I was very, very, very strong. Do you know what? I'll actually read out the post that I put out related to that, if that's okay. If you can indulge me there for a second. It pissed me off rightly, the very thing you're talking about there, Tony. There was a couple of different football club shirts there, and at times like this, those gestures, those football shirts there at Leicester City Stadium are other football fans, members of the footballing community, letting Leicester City know that they're not alone, that the wider football family standing with them shoulder to shoulder, that we're all behind them, we love them, our thoughts are with them. And that's why these shirts were left there. It's the same, unfortunately, at every one of these memorial sites. You'll see opposition flags, scarves, shirts, and it's meant as a beautiful, kind gesture of support. So for that little prick of a Manchester City fan to try and make this about Liverpool looking for What was this he said? He said the Liverpool fan was looking to make it all about him, or Liverpool were looking to make it all about us, our supporters. It was disgusting. He's a smiley, smelly, horrible little prick who hides behind a false account. Yeah, anyway, so I thought about this long and hard before I posted it. I could have went on a rant. I could have went and just did what I did there and started calling him every name under the sun. But I sat back. I gave myself 15 or 20 minutes to compose myself afterwards. And this is the post that I came up with. Hiding behind a keyboard and writing disgusting posts on social media doesn't make you a tough person. Tough people raise families, work long hours, help their communities, admit their failings and try to improve every single day. They show love, kindness, respect and humility. And that was about the best way I could respond to that little prick, because he wants people to scream back at him. He wants people to draw attention to him. But he's a coward. I've said this time and time again, like all other trolls that hide behind these false accounts. People that put themselves out there into the world to be judged. People that get up out of bed every day when they haven't got 2 pence to rub together, but they've got kids that need to be fed. People that are battling depression out there day after day, but keep having the will to get up and go on. People getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning to go to work for their second job to put food on the table. Mothers out there and fathers struggling with kids. People with special needs children as well that need all the love and support they can get. Teachers, first responders. These are tough people. These are people that we should be tipping our hats to. These are people that we should be loving, supporting and respecting. Being a little prick hiding behind a keyboard on social media doesn't make you tough. It doesn't make you great. You can't say to your friends, look at me, woe is me, I'm gonna die a fucking hard man. You're not. You're a pussy. You're a coward. And there's a reason that these people hide behind keyboards. There's a reason they don't use their real names. There's a reason that racists and bigots and people like that hide behind false accounts, hide behind masks, is that they don't want people to know who they are, because they're fucking cowards and because they know what they're doing is wrong. I imagine that this Manchester City fan, I imagine it's probably a young person, and I imagine he doesn't want his parents or his mother to know what the fuck he's writing. He doesn't want his teacher, his friends to see who he really is. This horrible little prick that's just starved of attention or love, looking for somebody to just let him know that he exists, somebody to just make him relevant for a few minutes. It's just wrong. It's sickening. And at a time when the football family needs to come together with Glenn Hoddle, with Leicester City, with Brighton, we shouldn't be talking about people like him. We shouldn't be having to defend our fan base against stupid accusations like that gentleman made. We should be just all about love, respect. Our hands and our hearts should be with Leicester City because they deserve it. Their owner, as much as I didn't know the man, as much as I've got to be honest and say, other than Leicester winning the league, I didn't know too much about him. But since his passing, I've spent some time reading up on him, and people often say the words, oh, he was a good man, but he genuinely seemed like an absolute, really, really wonderful human being. We can't forget about the pilot and the co-pilot as well. I believe the pilot and the co-pilot were boyfriend and girlfriend, or they were in a relationship. Of course, there was 2 other staff members on the helicopter. But just to finish up on this, guys, as I said before, what the fuck goes through someone's head in a situation like this where people are grieving, the world is hurting, football fans are hurting. There was a flight in Indonesia, I think today, that disappeared with almost 200 people on board. I was reading a couple of comments and social media posts about that as well, and there's always a couple of vile pricks that have something horrible or smart to say about it. I don't know, there's something wrong with these people. There's something wrong with the world that we live in, that people feel it's acceptable, it's okay to write these things. If you won't do it from behind your real name in front of a camera, if you wouldn't say it to your next door neighbour, your friend, your teacher, your colleague, then don't write it on social media, because it's not you. It's not really who you are. Anyway, that was my little rant for the day, and you guys know if you've been watching the channel for a while, you know I can go off on tangents, but I feel strongly about these things at times, guys. I like to be supportive of people. I like to be positive. I like to put love out there into the world and like to put positive things there. But these little fucking cretins do my head in. The new City fans are getting to the Chelsea level fan. Most of them on Twitter are absolute cunts, especially the Brian X NE account. So it's the Brian with an X account or whatever he's called. Can't stop tweeting about Liverpool. It's sickening. Sickening. Some of them are absolute scumbags. Tony Kelly said, I think I retweeted that, Craig. Slightly off topic, and I'll get back to this again, but you guys know I'm not a UFC fan, but Khabib's manager tweeted something about massive news coming for Khabib. Has anybody got an idea what that might be? Because I'm very curious to see what it is. Mo's new haircut actually really suits him, said Tony. I don't notice much difference, mate. When I was waiting for the after picture when I seen the haircut, when I seen the picture of him standing there with the barber. And for those of you that don't know, Mo got his barnet done today, went to the barbers and got himself a fresh new trim. But I was expecting something a little bit more shocking, maybe. Not shocking, but a little bit more tight than the cut that he got. It looks like he literally did get a trim. Lovely to hear this is 100% true, said James Fullen. Get stuck in there, Craig Fella, said Paul. HYS on BBC is the worst one for trolls. I just don't understand what is in somebody's fucking head when they write this stuff. I don't get it. I honestly don't get it. If they don't lie in bed at night after writing this and think to themselves, fuck, I can learn something from this. I shouldn't have done that. Then I don't know. I can't figure it out. Fun gamer, talk to you soon, mate. City fans are just trying to make themselves relevant. Look, it's easy for us to point fingers, I suppose, here at Manchester City fan, but do we really know that this little prick was indeed a Manchester City fan? All we know is he was a horrible little fucker, whoever he was. You know, when Leicester won the Premier League, why did they get rid of the most successful manager? Can anybody tell me? I think it was because of player power, Tony, mate, but again, we have no proof of that. The players did seem to down tools at the time. A lot of abuse was put towards Jamie Vardy. I don't know, we weren't in that dressing room. It was a damn shame that they got rid of the manager that won them the Premier League. They probably wouldn't have got relegated that year anyway, but it's happened, it's done. Rod said, I have a Twitter account since yesterday just to see what will happen. Already surprised about all the bickering, stupidity and attention seeking. Will only post positive shit. Amen. It can be a tough place, Rod. They like to use this phrase, football Twitter. I'm going to do a video on football Twitter, or a podcast on football Twitter. It's one of the topics that I have down to do and cover on the new podcast that myself and Connor are going to be doing. And I'm not going to fucking hold back when I talk about football Twitter. I've seen the people that call themselves football Twitter, threaten accounts and say you don't know who you're fucking with, and we've brought down bigger accounts than you. Well, bring it. That's all I'm going to say to them. Fucking bring it. Because when I get stuck into this, I'm not going to hold back. Because football Twitter to me isn't what they claim to be. There is amazing people out there, but the people that actually brand themselves as football Twitter are in the whole little scumbags who are loudmouths and like to try and act tough. Football Twitter is a very strange place. There are some amazing football fans out there from every club. You've seen them come in here as well. We've had the pleasure to talk to fans from Manchester United, from Everton, from Wolves, from Bournemouth, from most other clubs that have dropped in to say hello to us. It's been lovely to talk to them. But there are some vile fuckers out there as well, hiding behind the phrase football Twitter. Yeah, they should be fucking ashamed of themselves. I heard Khabib's dad invited McGregor over to Dagestan, said Tony. I think he did. I think you're right. I think he said he'd certainly welcome him over, or he's forgiven him and he'd welcome him over anyway. Not sure if Khabib himself will be so welcoming. Is there a Man City crisis? They only scored one. True, Paul, we should get that into the media, mate. Manchester City falling apart at the minute, only scoring one goal away at Spurs. Have the wheels come off the Pep bus? Yes, they should win the league because Liverpool have a very good squad and play like beasts, said Jamie Barnett. And anyone who has joined the stream that wants to give us their opinion on the title of the stream, which basically is, do you believe Liverpool can win the Premier League title this season? Please do. If you've joined us late and you didn't get a chance to let me know earlier on, then please take the time to do so. Also, guys, don't forget to drop a like on the stream as well if you have a chance. And of course, if you're new, don't forget to subscribe. So, boys and girls, the three in midfield for Saturday, asks Luke. For me, buddy, it's got to be Gini Wijnaldum, Fabinho and James Milner. I understand, and I would not be at all upset to see Shaqiri in there, but those three for me, I think, could go and do a job at Arsenal. Khabib was talking about Mo being a great role model, I think. I did see that, Ferno. That's not what I was talking about, but yes, I did see that. And it was a beautiful thing from to say, yeah, well done to Khabib. And he's right to point out Mohamed Salah as an example to youth all over the world. He's a fantastic athlete. He's a fantastic man. He's a fantastic example. I'm not just talking about religions here. I'm not even going to say he's a fantastic example to Muslims, or he's just a fantastic example to humanity. If you have any young person out there, show them Mohamed Salah. Show them the respectful way he lives his life. Show them the way he performs on a football field. If you have a young kid that wants to go and play the game, show him. Show them Bobby Firmino. Show them the spirit and the passion with the way these guys go and play the game. So Khabib was right. Mohamed Salah is a great role model, and should be held up there in high esteem to everybody in the world, whether you're a Liverpool fan or not. I heard Khabib's dad invited him McGregor to Dagestan. We spoke about that. Paul Lee reckons on Saturday 4-2-3-1. That's not out of the question. There was a lot of talk about Firmino playing in this deeper role, but if that's the case, mate, if we're going to that 4-2-3-1, then is Salah the one, Paul? Is that what we're saying? Because he probably is, isn't he? If we're going to a 4-2-3-1, then Mohamed Salah for me would probably be the one in that system. So you'd have your back four, then you'd have Fabinho and let's say Jimmy Milner, and then ahead of that you'd either have Shaqiri or Gini, or vice versa. You'd have Gini with Fabinho, and ahead of that you'd have Milner and Shaqiri, or either or. Then you've got the front three, so you've got the three there and the one ahead. So yeah, Salah in that system, if we're going to do that 4-2-3-1 you're talking about, then for me Mo Salah will be the one. I don't see the point of that comment about why they sacked Ranieri. He could have just been curious. Honestly, mate, it's probably just a genuine question. All Mancs are the same, said Facility Time. Well, that's the thing. How many of them are actually Mancs? Not that that matters. I mean, I'm not saying that you shouldn't be a fan of a football club. I'm a fucking Irish fella supporting Liverpool. I'm just saying all Manchester football fans, if we can say that, all fans of any man club are the same. Maybe it's a bit easier to say. Anybody remember Ricky Lambert saying bad things after he left Liverpool? He has the right cheek. No, Tony, I didn't hear that, mate. Honestly, I'm not just saying that to speak up for him because I genuinely didn't hear it. Susan Cox said, just retweeted the new Virgil van Dijk. Have I missed something, Susan? That's gone over my head, I'm afraid. Sorry if I've missed something really obvious. Luke Skywalker said Fabinho, Gini and Milner. That's my trio anyway, buddy, for the midfield against Arsenal. Most of it's full of absolute cunts. Some are decent, but most are vile twats. Football Twitter, intriguing, said Rod. Oh, dive in, mate. Use the hashtag. Go in and have a look. Use the hashtag football Twitter, or if you see the phrase FT, that's what they're talking about as well. What do you think about Mane's recent performances minus the goals? It's been a bit up and down, Heno, mate, because at the start of the season I thought he had a real swagger about him. I thought taking that number 10 shirt might have given him a boost. I don't know if his performances are really dipping or if he's just having less chances to be involved in the game. It's hard to say. A lot of the play seems to be going down the right hand side with Mohamed Salah, so maybe he's just not getting the space to do his damage, but he's got 7 goals. Can't really argue when he's got 7 goals. he's a fantastic player. There's no doubt in that. He can be a little bit frustrating at times, but then he does what he did at the weekend with his left foot, pops up, his persistence pays off, and he sticks one straight across the keeper into the corner. I love Sadio Mane. Can he play better than he is at the minute? Yes, he can, but I don't think that he's going through a bad vein of form. But yes, he can raise his game. They can all raise the game a little bit. Oh, the song. That's what you're talking about, Susan. Oh, that song's a fucking belter. The new Virgil van Dijk song is an absolute belter. Yeah, they always do it with us. Liverpool aren't firing. They can't win the league. The defence can't win it for them. Yeah, over and over and over again. Always trying to stick the boot in. Shabir said, nope, that wasn't aimed at me. That was aimed at Furno. As much as I like Shaqiri, those three you mentioned are definitely or should definitely start. If it was a home mate, then is it Donegoon? If it was our Doongoon? If it was a home, then I'd probably stick Shaqiri in. But just because we're away, and it could be a battle for the start of the game. Arsenal are going to be up for it. They're at home. The crowd will be behind them. I think those three are the ones I'd send into battle, with perhaps Shaqiri coming on then later in the game. Luke said, I agree. Great minds think alike. Paul said, serious contenders, but don't want to jinx them by saying we can win the league. Touch wood, we will though. Hope Kate is available for the bench this weekend. Has there been any more news on Naby Keita, guys? I haven't seen anything. Every night before I come on here, I spend about an hour just Googling Liverpool news or Liverpool FC news and trying to pull stories and trying to see, you know, is there any little bits and pieces that I've missed from around the world? And I haven't really seen much on Naby Keita lately. Brian Morris, he said, only 18 likes, wake up people. This Craig lad is working his balls off. Well, look, if you do have a second, guys, please, I don't know how many are watching the video at the minute, but if you do have a second, it only takes a second, do hit that like on the stream. And if you haven't subbed, what the fuck are you waiting for? Subscribe, you motherfucker. Do it now. 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 Have you done it yet? Do it now. Sorry, I was going to go on like that for ages, but I realised how fucking annoying that is. I do it to my wife all the time, by the way. Just go on like a broken record and just literally same phrase, same phrase, same phrase. And I know what you're all thinking of there. It's usually, can I have sex? Can I have sex? Can I have sex? You're not too far off, if we're telling the truth. The partnership is looking better and better every game. Craig, do you think we're going to win this season? Said Subby. I do, mate. I think going to win against can win. I'm probably more on the can win side. I don't want to say we're going to win, but I do think we can win. Am I being a hypocrite saying that? Is there a difference in those two? I just don't want to sound arrogant, I suppose. But I do think Liverpool can win the league. Yes, definitely. Liam, we have a backup for Mane, Harry Wilson. 100% I believe Liverpool can win the title. They've got what it takes, said Susan Cox. Love that. Absolutely love that, Susan. Liked, said Rod. Mo Salah, one season wonder, is one goal behind Eden Hazard, who is his best season in his career. Look, Eden Hazard is up there as one of the most fucking overhyped footballers. I don't understand how people think this dude is up there with the best footballers in the world. He's infinitely talented, I'm going to say that, but as people have pointed out, his numbers have been fucking shocking. I think Mo Salah scored more in the Champions League last season. Was it in the Champions League last season than Eden Hazard has scored in his career? Something along those lines. Somebody will pull me up on the right stat, but look, he does it when he wants to. He's a little diva. He's another one of these little divas. Now it's all sweetness and life from him. Everybody loves him, but they're forgetting about the times he didn't fucking show up and he was getting managers sacked. And let's be honest, Chelsea fans, he wants to go to Real Madrid. You're just a stepping stone. If he could leave there tomorrow, he would stand all over each and every one of you on his way out the gates. So I don't get the love in for Eden Hazard. He's a good player, but he's never going to be up there with the best. His numbers are shocking. Yeah. It's one thing I actually give Garky Poo a little bit of credit about, that he does like winding up Chelsea fans about Salah versus Hazard, and I sometimes do smile at that one. I swear Lambert was a Liverpool fan growing up. He was absolutely a Liverpool fan. Massive Liverpool fan. Salah is being judged against a career high season. He'll never hit those numbers again. Probably. Maybe. Said Brian Morrissey. Should it be fair for us to expect him to hit those numbers? Whatever he decides that, if he thinks he should be hitting them, that's up to him. But as fans, is it fair for us to demand that level? We know he's now capable of it. That's one thing we can say. For me, a successful season for Mo Salah is getting over 25 goals. If he does that on a consistent basis over 3 or 4 years, then for me, he will go down as a fantastic player for Liverpool Football Club. Hopefully, as part of a title-winning Liverpool Football Club. But it's up to everybody to put the goals in. I don't think we've had enough goals from midfield, for instance, over the past few seasons. I think that's something we need to really up. Whether that's getting 8 to 12 from Shaqiri, Jimmy Milner popping up with a few more, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, when he comes back, of course, will pop in with a few goals. But we do need more from midfield. The pressure cannot constantly be on the front three to be on the score sheet week in, week out. Mo Salah one season wonder. We've done that one. Will you be in costume if you do a stream on Halloween? I won't be doing a stream on Halloween, buddy. I forgot to mention that one actually. I probably should have mentioned that one. On Halloween we bring our kids up to Dublin every year to their grandparents' house. It's been a tradition. Will I do a stream? So I might be back at 10 o'clock, so don't completely rule me out on that one. But if I'm not on, don't be surprised. But yeah, we bring our kids up to Dublin to go trick-or-treating up there. We've done it since they were born, basically. We've brought them to the grandparents' house every year. It's pretty quiet down where I live, so there's not as much going on for them. And they hadn't even seen a bonfire. Do you know what I mean? There's no bonfires down here where I live, so we bring them up to Dublin. They do the trick-or-treating up there. But I should be back. There's one night I definitely won't be here. That is next Saturday. I'll get the game in, but I won't be here that night because myself and my wife are going to a comedy show. We're going to see Kevin Bridges, so won't be here on Saturday, November the 5th at night time, but should be okay to do the game. Just need to double check the kickoff. What time is the kickoff against Arsenal? Can somebody let me know? Maybe I should Google that actually before I start saying I'm definitely fucking doing stuff. Where is it? Liverpool versus Arsenal, or Arsenal versus Liverpool. What's the kickoff time? Oh, 5:30. Oh, no. No, I won't be able to do next Saturday. No, that's the 3rd. Hang on. Yeah, no, I won't be able to do the game next Saturday. I'm going to have to try and get someone to cover it. Didn't realise that was the day I was going out with the wife. There you go. Fuck. I don't like letting people down. I really don't, but I can't let my wife down. So I'm going to try and get somebody to cover that one for me. I didn't realise that till somebody mentioned about Halloween. There's no way I'm saying to the wife, by the way, we're not going to the show. She will kick my fucking ass. Susan Cox says, loves the stream. It's the highlight of my day. I need more like buttons. I want to hit like more selectively. Craig, I really think our trio will show Arsenal at the weekend. Hazard isn't consistent enough. No, I don't think he is either. Can he do it in bursts? Yeah, he's really good, but he's not consistent enough. Brian and Missy, the Bulldog Bully, said European double 2018-2019 season. Nabi and Heno back Saturday according to Physio Room. Thank you for that one, facility time. Tony Kelly said, Craig, do you think our scouts are good for picking out good transfer business? Rome would do it well, seeing a documentary of it. It's tough because there's a couple of ways of looking at this. You can look at it that people could say to you, well, look, we could have picked up Sadio Mane and Virgil van Dijk a lot cheaper. But at the same time, when you're a club at the level of Liverpool, if you brought these players in before they'd fully develop, well, not fully develop, but before that stage where they're at the level that you're comfortable with, you're gambling that they're going to make that transition at Liverpool. Whereas if you wait a year or two, you're gambling that they fulfill their potential and you mightn't be able to afford them, or that somebody else comes in and takes them. So I think most club scouting these days is pretty damn good. We have a network set up all over the world. We scouts in South America, scouts in Africa, obviously scouts all over Europe. It goes a lot deeper than just the team in and around Jurgen Klopp. So I would say our scouting system is pretty damn good. I'd love to know the inner workings of it. There was a really interesting piece from Melissa Reddy about the scouting of Roberto Firmino. I'd advise anybody to search on her Twitter for that one and have a read of it. It's a brilliant article. Tells you how much Liverpool looked into Bobby Firmino before we went to sign him. And to us fans, it looked like that was a rush deal. And we went over and Air tried to sign Bobby Firmino, flew over there and did it all very quickly. But the truth is that Liverpool had looked, researched and followed him for years. Seen him play in all different types of environments and all different types of weather against all different types of opposition. So when you're investing as much money as we are at the moment in football players, and let's not forget Liverpool is a business, we can't forget that part of it, you're going to want to do your due diligence. So yes mate, I would say our scouts are pretty good. Naby and Shaqiri will be beautiful off the bench, said Luke. Come back to Dublin and jump in the River Liffey in a pink dress if you win the Premier League. I'm not jumping in the fucking Liffey. You man to die if you jump in the Liffey. Fucking thing is polluted as fuck. Pink to make the boys wink. Did anybody else's fucking nanny say that to them? We expect you're sick now on the 1st of November, Craig. I probably will be able to make Halloween. The 5:30 kickoff though, I can't believe I'm going to miss that one. I feel really guilty over that. Tina Murphy. Hi Craig, do you think the goal difference is important at the moment between us and City? I honestly don't, Tina. No. I think, how many times has a league title in England been settled on goal difference? It happened with us and Arsenal when they beat us for the league title. The season that Manchester City won with that Aguero goal, was that goal difference? Other than that, I can't really think of too many. So it's not something I'd be too hooked up on now, Tina, because just staying with Manchester City and grinding out results is what I'd be worried about at this moment in time. But if goal difference is where we're worried at this moment in time between us and City, then we're not doing half bad. And it's a position at the start of the season I think would have been very happy to be in. Heme said, I definitely believe we can win the title, but Manchester City's squad is superior in depth. Would be more confident if we had a fully fit Ox. Well look, nobody can disagree with you there. Fully fit Oxlade-Chamberlain would certainly increase our chances. I still can't believe Arsenal fans think they did us for 40 million there, by the way. Someone read some of their comments and they were delighted to get rid of him, some of them. I don't know why. I fucking love the guy. He's been a massive hit with our fans. He's progressed under Jurgen Klopp fantastically, and 40 million, I'm more than happy to have him at the club. Rod said, I can do a live stream in the privacy of my own home. Our scouts are class at the minute. Name the last bad player we bought. Look, there's one jumps to mind pretty quickly, but I don't want to stick the boot in on the young man. He's currently off rebuilding his career. Gini, Firmino and Shaqiri should start against Arsenal in my opinion. Shaqiri is great at pressing and doing some defensive work, and he showed that. Anthony Peter said, after the last Klopp selection, should we even bother trying to guess a team? Probably not, mate, you're right. It's very hard to second guess Jurgen Klopp. Good night, Tom. Thank you for joining us, buddy. It is always a pleasure to have you with us. For those of you that don't know, I think I've mentioned this before, Tom will always have the honour of being the very first person to post on any of our videos, so thank you for that, Tom. Never going to forget it. Juventus scouting team are not bad, said facility time. Liverpool legend, Hazard does not care about Chelsea, he cares about winning and will leave Chelsea to win more. He will. He wants to be at Real Madrid, it's no secret. He tried all summer. After the World Cup he basically said, I want to go to Real Madrid. Do you see how Hoffenheim discovered Bobby? They found him on Football Manager and then decided to get him. Incredible. I read that story, Ferno. It is nuts that they found his stats on there. It's absolutely nuts. Weren't they recommended him, or wasn't his dentist his agent or his manager or something? I think he was involved in that deal as well. That Melissa Reddy article also notes how some other clubs are trying to piggyback our deals because they know how good we are. She's an excellent journalist, by the way, guys. If you aren't up on Melissa Reddy's stuff, she used to work for Goal, but now she works for Joe. I cannot recommend her articles highly enough. She is an excellent football journalist. Crosby Red said, are Spurs scouts unemployed or on gardening leave? Yeah, there was a time where I fully believed they were fucking just following our scouts around in vans or something, peeking around the corners, trying to see who we were looking at. Craig, the Europa League official Twitter tweeted a few days ago around the Red Star game, welcome back to the Europa League, Spurs, we've been expecting you. Now that's trolling. That's fucking class. I have to say, that's absolute brilliant. Do you know, if you guys are on Twitter, most football clubs are on Twitter, as you know, but I have to say the best football social media account on Twitter is Roma, hands down. The guys who run the Roma Twitter account are absolute brilliant lads. They have a great sense of humour. They're really in touch with how people are thinking and feeling on there, and I think they are their football Twitter account to a T. Spurs scouts are bricklayers at the moment, said Tina Murphy. Yeah, and even at that, Tina, they're behind schedule. Obviously, there were Arsenal fans tweeting that. Crosby Red said, no Spurs builders are retired millionaires. Arsenal are way too confident. We have the Egyptian king. We have the octopus and the Brazilian in goal. Look, let's just wait and enjoy. We can't call it Arsenal Fan TV anymore. AFTV. After the Reds go there, collect their 3 points, show Arsenal what a real side is all about, then we'll sit back and listen to them. Harry Wilson scored another screamer, said facility time. He's been brilliant, hasn't he? For Wales and for Derby. Frank Lampard's doing a very good job at Derby. And we can't forget about Stevie G as well. He's doing really well in the Europa League. They should have probably got the win against Moscow there during the week. They had a lot of chances. And Ryan Kent is not doing too shabby up there. Ajari getting a bit of game time as well. Have you anything else, guys, before we finish up tonight? Any other comments or topics that you guys want to have a chat about before I head off? I have a thumping headache today for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe it's just the cold weather's coming in. And again, if anybody has joined late and you've seen the name of the stream tonight, or you've seen the question, can Liverpool win the Premier League title? Please do let me know your thoughts, because I'm trying to gauge opinion from as many Reds as I can around the world. Also, we've had a few donations lately to our Twitter account, or not our Twitter account, our PayPal account. Thank you so much for that. I don't think it's been weeks since I've put this in, so do you know what, I'm gonna post it in now just in case. Where is it? Oh, Connor's gonna hate me for doing this wrong. Oh, I'm gonna do this wrong. Anyway, he's gonna kill me for doing this wrong. Right, so if anybody is used to PayPal and you want to make a donation to the account and to help keep things ticking over here, you can go to PayPal or paypal.me/Anfield Agenda, and you can make a donation on there. It's really simple, really straightforward. You don't need to have a previous PayPal account to do it. I'm sure there's probably supposed to be a HTTP / or something there, but if you just put in www.paypal.me/Anfield Agenda into your browser, then that will come up and you'll be able to do so. There's no pressure from us, but look, every penny does help. On that note, guys, do you know what? I think I'll call it a night there if that's okay. Just trying to check if there's anything else from people here before I head off. No, cool. Right, guys, look, we'll call it a night there if that's okay. I'm pretty exhausted. This jet lag just won't fucking disappear. I'll be back tomorrow at 10 o'clock. I'll have a packed agenda for you because I've got a few things I want to get off my chest. Until then, thank you so much for joining us again tonight. You guys are absolute legends. Love each and every one of you, and up the motherfucking Reds.